Alright, check this out. We've got the brand new Galaxy Watch Ultra 2 in the house today. I will be sharing my first impressions about this watch, and we will also quickly compare this watch with its predecessor. Without wasting any time, let's dive right into the video. Right off the bat, the physical presence of this watch feels remarkably refined. Samsung kept that distinctive 47mm squircle shape and premium titanium frame which we saw last year, but they managed to shave off about 12% of the thickness, which is incredible. Now, if you look at the predecessor, the previous generation Galaxy Watch Ultra, you will instantly notice that the watch dial is much more seamless. The bezel here is thinner and it is flat compared to the previous gen, and you can also see those R marking or the number marking right here on this bezel, which is pretty cool, and that gives it a distinctive look compared to the predecessor. And when it comes to the sides, you can see the buttons are slightly different now. The back button and home button are slightly bigger, and we do not have this orange and white marking on these buttons. And you can also see the shortcut button. It has got this guard around it compared to the previous version where we just have the guard on one side of this button, and here we have got it on both the sides. And on the other side we have got the speakers, which is also smaller now compared to the previous version. You can see the mic is slightly above this speaker, and here on the previous version it is right next to the speaker. And as far as the strap is concerned, you can see the strap is much more thinner and it actually feels much lighter compared to the previous version. Let me just show you the thickness here. You can see this is how thick it is, how thin it is, I would say. And the previous version was pretty thick and it was kind of heavy, and it was a bit uncomfortable to wear with this watch strap. But compared to this one now, this is much more lighter and softer as well. This is a silicone strap like the previous version, but this is much more softer than the previous version. This was a bit harder. This is very soft, and that makes it very comfortable to wear. Now let me wear this watch and show you guys. Let me keep the box aside here. Now I have got just about 15 centimeter or let's say 16 centimeter wrist. It's quite thin, and this is a 47mm watch. If you're wondering how this watch would look on a smaller wrist, let me just quickly show you that. Check this out. This is how it's going to look on a smaller wrist, and I've been wearing this watch on my wrist for the last 2 years, and nobody told me that this watch looks bigger. It fits perfectly fine. Even if you have a smaller wrist, I don't think there is any issue. You don't have to worry about the size of this watch. It is universal and it will fit on any wrist. And you have got these holes here, which is all the way up till here, so you can buckle it up wherever you want depending on your wrist. So that's how it looks when you wear this watch. Of course, if you compare this watch with the Galaxy Watch 9, that watch is much more thinner, sleeker, slimmer and lighter. If you prefer something like that, you can obviously go for that, but this packs everything. This has got a bigger battery and it packs a lot of features with titanium frame and all that, so obviously this will be much more heavier. Anyways, let's go ahead. Let's talk about the real showstopper here. Samsung has cranked the peak brightness up to an absolutely insane 5000 nits on this watch, which is the first time in this industry. No other watch offers you 5000 nits of brightness. Let me just crank it up to 5000 nits. Maybe 5000 nits is not always available. Even under this harsh studio lights, the 1.52-inch Super AMOLED display is blindly crisp. And I already know that this is going to be flawless under direct sunlight. Now this watch has got the brand new Snapdragon Elite or Elite processor, which is the first time on a Samsung Galaxy Watch. On the predecessor, on the Galaxy Watch Ultra 1, we had the W1000, Exynos W1000 chipset, which has been performing really well. I did not see any issues so far, but we have seen the Exynos chipset's performance will drop when we start getting updates or upgrades. Probably for the first or the second major Wear OS upgrades, it will work better, but the third or fourth one, it starts stuttering and hanging a bit, and that is where the Snapdragon chipset might matter. We will have to wait and see how this watch is going to perform after a couple of years, after upgrading it to the upcoming Wear OS versions like Wear OS 8, Wear OS 9, etc. That is when we'll get to know the exact difference in the performance, but for now, the performance seems to be pretty much same. Let me quickly open the quick panel here. You can see it works more or less the same. Let me open the app tray. Not much of a difference, but definitely this feels smoother compared to this watch, and that may not be only because of the processor. could be because of the latest Wear OS version. Let me just quickly go to the software here and let me scroll down here and go to software information. And you can see this is One UI version 9 and this is One UI version 8 on the predecessor. So maybe the One UI version also matters here. It is pretty smooth. And of course, paired with the Snapdragon Wear Elite chipset, this watch definitely feels smoother. Now let's open a few applications here. Let me tap on Play Store simultaneously. It was for some reason slightly slower on the new watch. Let's open settings. Let's open weather application. Faster on the newer watch. Let's go with the calendar. More or less the same. Timer. I would say almost the same. So I don't notice much of a difference in terms of app opening speed here, but definitely the latest watch feels slightly smoother than the previous version. Now, of course, there are some important upgrades. Now, this watch is EN 13319 certification and it has got 10 ATM IP69K rating, which will enable true dive computer capabilities featuring automatic water detection and an exclusive built-in Mares app that tracks real-time water temperature, depth and descent speeds, which is amazing. And endurance athletes get an advanced trail run mode with granular elevation metrics, GPS mapping and real-time nutrition and hydration alerts based on your precise fluid depletion. Plus, cyclists can now utilize Galaxy AI to calculate their functional threshold power or FTP in just 4 minutes when paired with a power meter to establish customized training zones. So definitely there are some upgrades when it comes to health and fitness features on the Galaxy Watch Ultra 2 compared to the predecessor. And some of the software features will trickle down to the predecessors as well. I will keep you guys posted. Whenever we get the One UI Watch 9, we will see some more contents about the Galaxy Watch Ultra 1. And I'll tell you which new features have trickled down from the latest Galaxy Watch Ultra 2. Now let's talk a bit about the battery. Now this watch has got 800 mAh battery and that is expected to give 60 hours of battery life on this watch, which is more or less the same on the Galaxy Watch Ultra previous version as well. I'm getting about 2.5 days of battery performance on this watch and I can push it to 3 days if I use power saving mode. And I didn't get a chance to use this watch. I just got this watch in the studio today. I will thoroughly test the battery performance on this watch and I will let you know guys very soon about how long I'm able to use this watch. Is it 2 days or 3 days? I will confirm that to you in the future videos. Now, as far as the RAM is concerned, it is 2 GB that we are getting and we get 64 GB of storage, which is plenty for all your media consumption. If you want to download the audio on YouTube Music, Amazon Music or Spotify, you've got enough storage on this watch. And that is pretty similar to the Galaxy Watch Ultra 2025, where they upgraded the storage to 64 gigabytes, but on the Ultra One 2024, it was just 32 GBs. Now let me also show you how it looks on the phone. We have got the brand new wearable application, which has got this brand new interface now. As you can see, we have got the watch right here. When you tap on My Watch Faces, you can swipe towards the right to check out all the watch faces, tap on plus button to go to the watch faces gallery. And here you will find plenty of them. There are some brand new watch faces for the Galaxy Watch 9 series. And there are plenty other watch faces available in the gallery here. And you can also see that we've got this floating bar here now. And we've got notification, quick panel, tiles, application screen here. I can tap on app screen here to edit the applications on the watch. And I can see the battery percentage here right on top. I can tap on the 3-dot button and tap on all devices to check the connected devices and tap on plus button to add new watches. Now, let me go to the health application. Samsung Health has also been revamped and we are going to get some very interesting metrics here. We've got something called heart health here. You can see this is a hub for heart health. We've got hearing to track sound exposure to help protect your hearing. We've got something called vitals, which is a brand new feature. It's going to take 7 nights to track the vitals and find the baseline here. So that is something brand new. and we have got daily cardio load here. You can find your daily training sweet spot here using this particular feature. So there are some brand new features available for the Galaxy Watch 9 series, and some of them will be coming to the Galaxy Watch 8 series and the Galaxy Watch Ultra predecessor, the Ultra 1 as well. So Samsung did work on the Samsung wearable application as well as the Samsung Health application, and has revamped the entire applications and added some brand new features. Now the first impressions of this watch is pretty good. The watch is slightly lighter compared to the previous version, and the strap is something which I'm really impressed about. It looks pretty cool, and it is very soft and thinner compared to the previous version, and it is very comfortable to wear now. And the brand new Snapdragon Wear Elite chipset is going to matter a lot in the future. This watch is eligible to get 5 years of software upgrades if I'm not wrong. When you hit that 3rd year, 4th year or 5th year of software upgrades, that is when you will need a powerful chipset to handle the new updates, and this chipset might matter at that point in time. And the brightness is definitely a big upgrade, and some amazing new health-centric features are also pretty cool. Now, if you're someone who is a fitness enthusiast, and if you go outdoors for running, and if you involve in swimming, diving activities, etc., this is the best watch you can go for. Of course, it will give you better battery life as well. 2 to 3 days of battery performance is pretty insane on a Wear OS watch. If it is RTOS, of course, you can get up to 1 week, 20 days, 30 days, etc. But for on a Wear OS watch, getting 2 to 3 days of battery performance is pretty amazing. That's about the Galaxy Watch Ultra 2. Let me know what do you think about this watch. Drop your thoughts in the comment section, and while you do that, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button if you find this video informative. There will be loads of contents coming up about the Galaxy Watch Ultra. I will be comparing this with the Galaxy Watch Ultra 1, and I will also compare this with the Galaxy Watch regular Watch 9. So tons of contents coming up. Stay tuned. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. That's about it. Thanks for watching. You guys take care and stay safe. I'll see you in the next one soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.